The bloodlust of white men will never be satisfied, even at the cost of other white men. So you see, white MAGA specifically gets so excited over here in the U.S. when immigrant families get kidnapped, killed, put in concentration camps. You see it every time a black man, woman, or child gets murdered by the cops. You saw it with Alex Peretti and Renee Good. And now we're over in Iran, killing children in schools. And you see all of these white men cheering, right? And of course, we have troops, American troops, that have been killed. For what? For no fucking reason. We don't need to be over there. But again, these white MAGA men get so excited about murdering people that are not white, be it in the United States or in different countries across the world. And it's illogical, right? Because they're saying, we will go destabilize countries, murder other people in those countries that aren't white in order to protect our freedom. No, again, we don't need to be over there. We don't need ICE. We need to abolish the cops. It's never ending. White men are never going to beat the allegations as a collective. That all we like to see as a collective of white men is death and destruction. It's primal. It's in our DNA. It's directly tied to our ancestors. It's directly tied to the violence that white people have carried out since the beginning of this country and basically since the beginning of time. White men are programmed to watch suffering and get physically excited, mentally stimulated, emotionally excited about watching the murder of other people. The bloodlust will never be satisfied for white men. They'll watch other white men in the military get fucking murdered. And they'll be like, hell yeah, that's the most honorable thing you can do is die for your country. No, the fuck it's not. The most honorable thing is that you see other people as human beings, recognize their humanity, be empathetic, show love and care in your communities, and not be fucking violent. But that is antithetical to the programming of the white collective. Every single white person right now is either a white supremacist or pro-violence, unless you are actively and loudly against that. And for the majority of the white collective, it lands on so many of you just being a white supremacist and pro-violence, especially white men.
God honest truth. I knew white boys were fucking different when I joined the military and I had to stand and watch with this white boy. And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. We're just talking, chatting, and pass by time. And he asked me why did I join, and of course I'm being nice, I asked him why did he join, and he was like he want to die an honorable death. And I was like, what make you think you're gonna die? We're not at war or anything. And he was like, well, I'm hoping we go to war so I can die an honorable death like my dad did and my grandpa did. I was like, you don't want to live and be honorable that way and make your family proud that you joined and you served and you got out and you did your time? He was dead ass. He wanted to go to war and he wanted to die an honorable death. That's when I knew white boys were very fucking different, because that is a choice.
Shalom Yasharallah, it's your brother Darash Shmat, and I'm back with another lesson. Before we jump into this one, I'm going to say, Call Halayim La Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem HaKadosh, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone for bringing out this truth, and shalom to the hopeful elect, which includes 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there scattered around the world, including those speckled bird Israelites who may look like the other nations but are not. And this is not a black thing. You are who you are according to the seed of your fathers, and the Israelites, they were scattered all around the world, so they look like these nations, but they're not. Now this word goes out to the 12 tribes scattered abroad because the scriptures only written unto the nation Israel. So you see the intro video. We'll put two clips in here. First, a man who appears to be an Edomite. He does refer to the subject of his conversation as white men, but we both know he was really talking about the Idumean, okay, which is the Greek way of saying Edom. All right. So it's these Edomites who are these bloody, violent men. And he says it's in their DNA. Well, technically, that's how they were made. Okay? That's in their bloodline. All right? Through the spirit, Cain came back as Esau, and then that spirit went out into all these Edomites today. Okay? And they were blessed with the sword, and they're using that sword, and they love war. Okay? The scriptures say, by thy sword shalt thou live. All right? And so that's what they do. And they're the ones causing all this havoc, taking peace from the earth. Okay? But trying to point the finger at everybody else and saying, oh, we gonna get peace through strength and this and that. And just the stuff that this man was saying, it just lines up with the scriptures. And so I had to do a lesson on it after I watched it. And then the woman, she basically backed up what he said. Because he's just like, man, this man just said, yeah, you just need to go die for your country. I want to get an honorable death. And he's just like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Well, I present to you the Idumean. That's who they are. That's what they do. Okay, that's their purpose. They are the wicked. And the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. They run this. All right? I got a second video that I need to make. But let's go into some scripture, for this one first. This is Revelation chapter 6 in verse 3, and it says, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red. And this is power. Okay? The horse represents power in red. It's talking about these Edomites. Because they're red. You can see their blood through their skin, a tinge color of blood. I always tell you that. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Okay? Now these countries, they stay into themselves. But Esau Edom keeps butting in. That vagabond who can't stay at home. He can't keep at home. He enlarges his desires hell. And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, the ICBM nuclear missile. So there is not going to be peace on this earth as long as Esau Edom is running things. All right? You need to understand that. Now if we go back to Genesis, just for some history, Genesis 25 and 25, it says, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Okay, so the hairy garments back then were red. Okay, not saying that he came out hairy, said he came out red like an hairy garment. Because you can see his blood through his skin. You ever see an Edomite in stress or distress or mad or something like that, they turn red. You can see their blood through their skin. All right? And so in childbirth, often you see them come out super red. Now let's go to Genesis 27, get verse 28. 28, and get that blessing. And it says, therefore power give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness. Oh, that's 28. I need 38. Slakia. This is verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. So he's going to get the best places on earth, but this was a temporary blessing. And by thy sword thou shalt live. So with the sword, he was going to get all of this. And that's what he's using, that sword, his weapons. All right, and that's all he does is war and just take from other people. Nothing is his. He'll claim he the European. He's not. He stole that land from Japhet. He stole everything. All right? And it says, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck. Okay? So King David had him in subjection. But after King Solomon, they got out. So let's go to Isaiah. Talked about a great sword, right? This is Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth the instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he gave Esau the designs to make these nuclear weapons. All right? And he made him to destroy. All right? He is the sword of the Heavenly Father, and that's what he's using it for on this earth. All right? But at the end of this, Esau, Edom, is going to get taken down. We'll get a hammer of the earth, the one who made the earth tremble. But he is also the wicked. He's destroying the earth, and he's corrupting the earth. Right? So he's going to have to be done away with. And that's what's coming. And like the man was talking about in the beginning, they love war and blood. All right? So this is Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5, and it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Who's he had a perpetual hatred against? Jacob. As he said, I will slay my brother, if you go back to the book of Genesis, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. All right? So he did slay us. He said he was going to do it, and he did it. All right? Verse 6 says, therefore, as I live, said Yahweh Power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. So they go get that judgment. All right? Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So they hate to spill other people's blood, so their blood is going to be spilled too. All right? That judgment, which they can't remove their necks from, is coming for them. They're going to fall into their own trap. All right? They done beat up the whole world, but chiefly the nation of Israel. They done spilled the blood of everybody on this planet. All nations. And they're going to have to pay. But chiefly for the blood of the nation of Israel. Speaking of the true Israelites, not those Amalekites over there in the Holy Land. Thus, I will make Mount Seir most desolate. All right? Desolate. And cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. Remember that great sword is going to turn on it. All right? And then when they go off to battle in these wars that they popping off now, it's only going to get worse and toward that great battle. You're going to lose a lot of lives. Verse 9, I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. They think their houses will go on forever from generation to generation, but that's not going to happen. The end is coming. All right? The scriptures talk about how Yahweh laughs at them. Okay? Because he sees that their end is near. He sees what's coming. He knows what's coming for him. All right? Let's go to the book of Habakkuk, classic, chapter 2, and verse 4. And it says, behold, his soul is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So Esau, Edom, you could tell his soul ain't right. Everybody could see it. He is the wicked and is being exposed. All right? Everybody is calling him out. Okay? And it says, yea, also, because he transgressed by wine with his wicked philosophies, he's a proud man. Something that the Heavenly Father don't like. Neither keep it at home. He all over there overseas. Got bases in everybody's country. All right? who enlarged his desire as hell. Oh, I want to expand my borders. Okay, but trying to do it in a sneaky way. All right? I want your resources, so I'm going to take it. It is as death cannot be satisfied. The bloodlust of the Idumean cannot be satisfied. Don't you see that's what that man was talking about? All right? But gathered unto him all nations and heaped unto him all people. I want to be on top. You all got to be under me. But we all just going to be like one people. All right? Shall not all these take up a parable against him? And a taunting proverb against him, saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So he just taking everything from everybody else. All of this stuff is not his. Everything that he got, he stole it. He's a thief and a liar. Shall not they rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, treasure. All right? So, Yahweh should be outside, he mustered the host of the battle. All right? So, war is coming, man. Joel chapter 3 and Joel chapter 2. All right? Verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, and you see what he's doing, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, because he loves blood, that bloody violent man, for violence of the land of the city and all that dwell therein. So he got to get payback for all that wickedness that he has done. He is not escaping out of this thing scot-free. This is Psalm chapter 140, in verse 1, and it says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man, Esau Edom. Preserve me from that violent man, Esau Edom, the Idumea, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Okay? That's what they do. They think about all the wickedness that they could do. All right? And when the day is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hand. All right? Continually are they gathered together for war. That's all they do. America has been at war, 220 some years? And it's still fighting? DJ Trump come in talking about, I'm a peacetime president. Look at him, at war. Done killed over 100 girls at a school. Sad. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. Selah. So you get sucked up into their words, that smooth tongue. You get swept away believing them. Okay? Because they talk a good game. But you always got to remember, like the Iranians should have remembered. I got to make a video on that. Okay, his words are smoother than butter, but war is in his heart, man. He break all his covenants. I mean, he did it to y'all last summer, and then y'all let him do it to y'all again? Come on, man. Wake up. We need the Carmanians to be ready, man. Come on. And the Dragons of Arabia, y'all need to wake up too, man. Let's get this stuff rolling. All right? It was just a video one of the brothers sent about how America is using all their resources to defend Israel, but not defending, like Saudi Arabia and Qatar and Kuwait and, the United Arab Emirates and whatever, all those other places, right? They just abandoned them for the Amalekites. Verse 4 says, keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent men who have purpose to overthrow my goings. And so that's the elect who want that protection from the violent man during this time. Okay? And with, King David being the top of that. Okay? He's that king under Yahushai. All right, the top man at 144,000. All right, so we want to be protected. The hopeful elect as a whole want to be protected from this violent man in the times to come, because we're coming into Jacob's trouble. That's where we're basically at, man. Jacob is in trouble everywhere. Verse 19 says, "Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O power. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men." All right, and he will slay the wicked. Vengeance is mine, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Isaiah 63 talk about who is that coming from Basra who's coming with dyed garments from Basra. That's Yahweh Shai. All right, so we got to go through this to get to the end of it. But I just thought this was a good video. How this man was talking about Esau, Edom, and the things that he was saying is just like this fits biblically with Esau, Edom. But he calling them white, but they're the Edomites. And it's not about the color of your skin. It's just that predominant portion of the Edomites are still pale, and you can see their blood through their skin. Okay, yeah, they got some chocolate-covered Edomites, but the predominant portion of them are pale. So I hope this short lesson was edifying. Shalom, Yasharallah.